This episode of the Craze Intent Less is brought to you by.
Welcome to the third installment of my all-ages, family-friendly comedy sci-fi series. For months I've been working tirelessly, putting together not one, not two, but three amazing stories all centered around this one amazing character, Duty, from There's an Alien in My Toilet. And I wanted to say thank you to all of the fans who supported us at the conventions and also on the Kickstarter helping to make it so successful.
Now we're back with book 3, and as always, we have amazing covers and an amazing story where Duty finally gets into a house and there are humans involved and a chihuahua named Herman. And just in time for Halloween, I bring you Duty's Monsters on Planet Cthulhu. You're not going to want to miss this one. It's one wild ride, but I also have something for the little ones. This is an activity book, a story book filled with adventures, and at the end, your child can write their own story and create their own characters. So thank you for sticking around for the first 2 issues, and I hope you enjoyed this next series of books that I bring you. Your support, your investment means the world to me, and I can't do it without you. Have a great day. Enjoy reading. Welcome to the Craze in 10 or Less. This is a show where I give it to you in 10 minutes or under, and if I don't, things happen. Anyway, Mangaka. It's not what you think, but it's pretty interesting. So I'm going to make a comparison. That's the topic of the day. I'm Sam the Crazy Man Vera. Stop acting up. Let's get it. All right, so Mangaka. What is a mangaka? So I got it up right here. A mangaka is a person who creates manga. For a manga that focuses solely on one character, it's amazing how the mangaka managed to come up with different and unique situations, right? So, why this topic? I'll tell you why. I was watching this documentary on the life of a mangaka, a manga artist, and it's not as appealing as one may think. Now, first of all, I salute you, all you manga artists out there. Your schedule is both impressive and concerning at the same time, right? So when you think about the amount of hours, the amount of time that mangaka puts into creating and drawing comics, and it's one of those things, like in Japan, it's big, to become a manga artist. But you think about it, it's almost like in any craft, there are thousands and thousands of millions of people trying to fight for the same thing, and only a few rise to the surface. So most of them are just grinding every day, and they're putting out a book a week. So we had this interesting conversation, George and I, and previous guests on Cast the Craze podcast, which was like how thick some of these books are and the price point difference from American books. And I think it's because they put out the books faster, and they put it out in graphic novels faster. There's this intense focus on just grinding. So I could not help but reflect on my schedule when the time came when the company I worked for went out of business. And now I'm faced with the reality. What do I do with the rest of my time? And we had a family meeting that said, "Hey, go after your dream." So I decided to work on my schedule, and this has been my schedule for the past 2 years. Now that's going to change because I have to go back to work. But this is me focusing on becoming a comic artist, catch the craze, working for myself. Now, mind you, the difference is I wasn't getting paid. I was living off of savings. We were living off of savings. We were lucky enough that over the years and with the sale of our house that we were able to sustain ourselves for a period of time. But that well has run dry. So I want to do a comparison, right? And what my schedule looked like versus what a mangaka schedule looked like. And it's pretty interesting. So when you look at, I have a schedule up right now. You can't see it here. You're going to see it right here. It's right there. So you think of it, so Mondays. So it says Mondays from midnight to 6 a.m. It's storyboarding. 2 hours sleep. 2 hours sleep on Monday. So 6 to 8. So from they're done at 5. So from 6 to 8 they're sleeping. Then at 8 o'clock they're having breakfast. Then from 9 to 8. From 9 a.m. No, to 6 p.m. it's drawing again. Then 7 and 8 p.m. This is a Sunday, mind you. Editors meeting. Then it's back to storyboarding until midnight. And then actually till it's back to storyboarding until the next day, 6 a.m. And this is a Shibashi Hiroshi schedule during unspecified week. So mind you, this is one mangaka schedule, right? So then on Tuesday, actually this is Monday. So then on Tuesday, it switches. So from the 2 hours that he's gonna get to sleep, it's editors meeting, and then you can see. So there is the only time for free time that he allocated for himself was the Saturdays from between 4 and so that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 and 7. So 3 hours between 4 and 7. That's it. Everything else is work, 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 work. Concerning, right? It's one of those things that you're like, could I sustain that kind of schedule? So now here comes mine. Mine is pretty consistent that for the past couple years, right? So once from Sunday through Saturday, right? With the exception of Thursdays, the difference. So from Sunday, I get up at 7 a.m. I work out from 7 through 9. It's workout, pet care, and breakfast, right? Because at 10 o'clock I start my streaming, right? So every day I kept it consistent. I like routines, right? So every day. The only day I don't work out is Thursdays because I get up, I prep for the morning brew. I get up at 7. We stream at 8 o'clock a.m. I do the morning brew. Then it's breakfast and pet care, right? So I combine the two, at 9 a.m. But then I stream. So every day I stream. And then there's social media posting, right? So it's I post for an hour on Sundays for 2 hours. And then it's working on the comics. The exception is Sunday. I allocate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours to family time. So it's just me, my wife hanging out, whatever. And then every night from 10 to midnight, it's me and my wife binge watching whatever she wants to watch or anything that I want to watch. We rotate, right? So that's the bulk of the social time, right? Because it's either working on comics, prepping for a podcast, doing the interviews, social posting. It's just been the constant grind. The only exception is if there's a convention going on, or if we actually are going on a trip, like we recently did to Arizona. So the difference is between my schedule and a mangaka was I was working for myself, so which means I wasn't the only revenue that was coming in was from any sales on the website from the books, which wasn't income. It was just paying for the books. So if I made, say in a month, I made 10 sales, and those 10 sales equated to $150 or $170, that just went back into shipping and producing the books. So there wasn't enough to actually pay to sustain our life. And if it wasn't the fact that I was in unemployment for about a year, they only gave me a year's worth of unemployment, and which is crazy. I've been working since I've been paying taxes since I was 16 years old, and they only gave me a year's worth of unemployment. Something's wrong with this system. And that's the first time I've ever been on unemployment. That's another question. But anyway, in a mangaka, they get a salary. And those who actually do really well and earn enough money because they produce constantly, then they get enough money where they can hire assistants. So they can have somebody who can do inking, or someone who could do lettering, or shading, whatever it is. They'll have a group. Sometimes they'll hire one, sometimes they'll hire 4, but they'll pay for these assistants. But they're working for somebody, so they're working for income. That's the only difference. But when you think about their schedule, the majority of creatives out there will always be working for somebody else, working for a Marvel, working for an Image, working whatever. There's rare few that really take off independently. Some of them take off and then they disappear after that one hit, and then they're gone. And I thought it was fascinating to see that schedule, to take a look at my life and my schedule. And there really wasn't, even though I did dedicate one day to family time and have 2 hours every night, it's really no social life. And there was no financial reward. It was just a personal reward. It was like that self gratification that I've accomplished something on my own. But have I really? And that's the question that I have to ask myself. What do I really gaining from this? Currently, I'm running a Kickstarter right now. The first two were very successful. This one seems to be moving at a snail's pace. No movement in days, although it achieved project we love. Begs the question, you know, how hard does it continue to get? How hard will it become? Will it get harder? Is it sustainable? All those things. So, which is why I have to go back to work, because that's a guaranteed income. Because this arena is fickle, fickle. So I wanted to bring that up to you. Go check out. I got some links in the bio. Some really good documentaries on manga artists. You check out those videos. It's pretty fascinating. Hats off to you guys. You guys are definitely at a level that's impressive, extremely impressive. So I'm not taking any away, not punching any shots. But hopefully this helps you take a look at what you're doing and maybe recalibrate your situation. I know I'm doing mine. I'm recalibrating everything in my approach. So things are going to change on how much time I spend away from my family versus with the family, and because it seems like nothing's guaranteed. The only thing that's guaranteed is your output and what you put into it. So I love what I do. I love drawing, and I'm hoping that people come along. I hope that you come and back the Kickstarter and get yourself a copy. It's fun for all ages. I don't know if all ages is a trigger word for people to walk away, because there's no adult content, and that might scare people because it seems adult content is the trend. Anyway, that's the Crazy telling us. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you have a comment on this, leave it below. How you handle it. What does your schedule look like? Let me know. And maybe we'll bring this up on the Morning Brew. Stand the Crazy Man Vera. This is the Crazy 10 or Less. Talk to you soon. Peace.